Let us discuss the example of a three-phase inverter with 180-degree conduction. I have developed an Excel sheet to demonstrate the calculations. The Excel sheet is available in your class folder. So we are going to analyze a circuit whose output voltage is to be determined, and output frequency for this circuit is 60 Hz. Supply voltage is 220 volt. Load information is this one. Load inductance is 23 millihenry. Capacitance is 180 microfarad and the resistance is 5 ohm. Right. So in the Excel sheet that is available in your class folder, you can only edit this part. What this is indicating, that if you want to include the capacitance, then make it 1, and if you want to exclude the capacitance, make it 0. So I am not considering capacitance over here. So basically our load is simply a 5 ohm resistance and the 23 millihenry inductance. So here we are doing the calculation up to 7th harmonic, considering all the odd harmonics. In the second column, we have calculated the inductive reactance, that is given by n omega L, where n is the harmonic order. So we have calculated XL for every harmonic. Then in this column, I have calculated the impedance, and impedance is calculated as R square plus n omega L square. Then in this column, for every harmonic, we have evaluated theta n. So that is equal to tangent inverse of n omega L by R. Then in this column, we have calculated the magnitude of the voltage using the Fourier series expression for the line voltages. So VAB, as we discussed in the last video, is given as all odd harmonics 4Vs by n pi into sine n pi by 3 into sine n pi by 2 into sine of n omega t. So using this part, you can find out the magnitude, and that is calculated in this column. Then using the values of the n, we can write down the expression for the voltage, that is shown in this column, next column. This is representing the expression. Okay, then we are calculating the peak current considering the Y connected load. So how to calculate this current? First of all, you will have to divide this voltage VAB with under root 3 to get the phase voltage, and then dividing this phase voltage with the impedance of the phase at that particular harmonic, at that particular frequency, you can find out the current. So this is basically calculated with the help of this expression. So we have first calculated the phase voltage divided by the impedance, and the impedance definitely is different for different frequencies because impedance is the function of frequency. Okay, then in the next column, I have written the current expression for line or phase current. So in this angle is basically accommodating this angle theta, impedance angle. Impedance has a certain angle theta that we have calculated in over here theta n, theta for particular harmonic. So that will be used in this current expression. And then I have calculated the RMS current by taking the square of the individual harmonic RMS current, then summing them together and taking the under root. So this is basically the load RMS current. IL, this is basically, I can write it like that, IL1 fundamental component plus IL and 3 third harmonic component plus fifth harmonic component and so on up to seventh harmonic that we are considering in this example. So I have calculated the load RMS current. Then in this column I have calculated the line voltage considering all the harmonics that we have already seen in this column, voltage column. So this is basically the peak value, dividing by under root 2 we will get the RMS, and then taking the square of individual harmonics, summing them together, net square root, you are going to get 178 volt as an RMS voltage when you have the 220 volt DC supply, right? Then to calculate the total distortion factor, we know that the expression for the distortion factor, that VLN divided by n square summation over all the harmonics up to infinity, taking the square of this and then taking the under root, dividing it by fundamental component, you will get the total distortion factor. So first of all I am calculating this part. So that is being represented as VLH. This expression is calculated, and then dividing with the fundamental component we will get the distortion factor. So distortion factor for this particular example is 1.21, right? Then the displacement factor for each harmonic is calculated, distortion factor, sorry, and then the harmonic factor in the last column. Harmonic factor HFN is equal to voltage of that particular harmonic divided by the fundamental component. So I have considered the line voltage over here. This is for line voltage, this is for line voltage, and similarly this one. Considering the line voltages, I have calculated the distortion factor and the harmonic factor, right? Then we can calculate the power that is calculated in this expression, P naught, that is equal to the IL square into R multiplied by 3 for 3 phase. So this gives us the total 3 phase power. Okay. Then we can calculate the displacement factor. We know the angle of the fundamental component of the voltage and the fundamental component of the current. So here is the theta, the angle between fundamental components. So using this one we can find out the power factor, sorry, displacement factor. So that is shown over here. Okay, then coming towards this table, the peak value of the fundamental component of the current, RMS value of the fundamental component of the current, then the peak. Okay, from where to get peak value? Peak value is this one, and the RMS value we have calculated in this column, this one, we have calculated the RMS value, that is 9.89, if I am able to highlight this one, right? Then peak load current with the harmonics, that can be calculated, that is calculated in this column, this one, the peak current, that is 14.01. taking the square of the peak currents and then the root, you will get the net peak current. And the RMS load current with the harmonics, dividing it by under root 2, you will get the RMS current that is shown over here. And then you can calculate the harmonic contribution in the current with the help of the expression that is IH is equal to total current I total square minus the fundamental component square, rest will be the harmonic. So that is calculated over here. Then the current THD, taking the harmonic contribution of the current, dividing it by the fundamental component, you will get the current THD. So that is calculated over here. Then fundamental power has been calculated, power because of the fundamental component of the current, that is in this. Then the total power has been calculated using the total RMS value of the current. And if you know the power, the total power, dividing it by Vs, you will get the average supply current. So average supply current is calculated, that is equal to 6.69 ampere. And then peak value of the fundamental line voltage, that is over here, this one. Then dividing it by under root 2 to get RMS value, that is 171, and that you can see is very close. If you compare this one 171 with over here 178. Why this difference is going to be there? Because 171 is just representing the fundamental component, and the total harmonic based voltage calculation is 178. If you calculate the total RMS value using the basic expression that we have already derived, that V line is equal to 0.8165 into Vs, so you will get 179.63 because it is accommodating all the harmonics. But in this column over here, in this column, so we have only considered up to 17th harmonic. So that's why there is a small difference. Then the harmonic voltage is calculated by taking the difference of the total voltage and the fundamental component. So V harmonic is equal to total voltage minus the fundamental component of the voltage. So that is available in this column. And then we have calculated the THD, that is obtained by dividing the harmonic voltage divided by the fundamental component. Then to select your transistor, we are taking this part, peak current of your RMS current of your transistor. Formula has been discussed in the last video. Conduction time in degrees, conduction time in terms of microseconds, and conduction time of the diode. This information is basically obtained from this angle theta. Conduction time of your switch will be the difference of this angle from 180 degree, right, and then converting it into microsecond, taking the time defined by your frequency, we can find out the conduction time of all these switches. And this information is helpful in selecting the rating of your switches, right? So this explains the detailed analysis of the three-phase inverter circuit with the 180 degree conduction. Thank you.